Alright everybody, welcome to the second to last race of the year in our F1 2019 career. No time to waste, we're getting right on track because it is Q2 and it has decided to start raining, and it just started to rain. So I figured I better get on track immediately to have as good a chance as possible of advancing. As if we wait and we're not the first cars out there, who knows what kind of track we'll have. Unfortunately, I don't know what kind of track I have either, so I'm gonna be learning on the fly here. I don't really know whether it's better to be out when it's still, just getting damp, or if it's better when the track gets a little bit of a dry lane worked in. But in my mind, I would think the drier the overall track is, the better you'll be. But that's just in my mind. So far here in Interlagos, mixed results. We weren't fastest in Q1, but I was also using a ton of used parts on the car, trying to conserve. Now, how did he get out there and do a lap already? I'm calling shenanigans. How did all of these cars get out and do laps already? So many shenanigans. I'm dealing with a car that's been kinda all over the place. Hasn't been too great, and it all season hasn't been amazing on these tighter tracks. Alright, we had a purple sector there. That's encouraging. Let's hope the power down the straightaway can help us out here. Alright, not bad. Not bad. 17-7, and I think the track's only going to get worse as it gets wetter and wetter, so might be okay. This might do us. Alright, pretty much as I suspected, the session went full wet from there, so yeah, we'll be solidly into Q3, but what is it going to do for Q3? It's going to keep raining like this? They're going to be out there on full wets? Certainly looks like it, as of now. So a little bit of a mix-up here in the field in Q2. Can we perhaps see some of that in Q3? I know I would love to see it. It would just be so much more encouraging to have a grid lineup that isn't Vettel 1 and me somewhere 2 to 5. But, I have a say in that. All right, it has actually let up raining now. So this might be the other way around. This session might get quicker as it goes. 15 minutes till the end of rain, so yeah, that means the very, very last laps of the session will be fastest. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna do some laps on the inners here, on the old ones, get some baseline in, and then try to time it out to where I'm on track at the very last second for a flying lap. Alright, well the session has gone dry, but it hasn't gone dry enough for slicks just yet. I didn't get myself out there with enough time to get out at the very last second of the qualifying, but I did get out directly behind Vettel, and I'm hoping to be able to close up on him and do a better time than him, but so far that has certainly not been the case. I'm wondering if these inners are no good in these conditions. He doesn't seem like he's doing a great time either, does he? Certainly not running away from us, and we're way off the pace. It might be Leclerc. This might be Leclerc on pole. None of us are going particularly fast here. I feel like these tires were not right. They should have sent us out on slicks. Let's see what Vettel does here. Oh, he goes to P2.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph, and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, just edging out Alexander Albon, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Hülkenberg, Lance Stroll, and Gasly, Leclerc, Hamilton, Vettel, and Red, Magnussen, Butler, Lando Norris, and Giovinazzi, Kubica, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and Valtteri Bottas. Verstappen and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
That's right. You saw that correctly. Game had a bit of a freak out.
Podium last race, the team were hoping for more of the same, but with yesterday's qualifying performance, it could be tough. Good luck.
Good luck. Well, you see... Oh, totally different strategies there. You see, turns out, myself and Vettel crossed the line at a point in which a bunch of other cars got another lap, and it simulated that other lap, and it simulated them magically going a second a lap faster than myself and Vettel were capable of doing at that point. So we're 9th and 10th basically by default. So that sounds like a bad thing, but really it opens up more opportunity, I think, than if we were starting 1-2. I'm happier starting 9th, 10th than I am starting 1-2. Just because, who knows, Vettel could get into a little crash, he could get into some wing damage, or he could just not work through the field as effectively. Looks like we have the ability to go for a soft to medium strategy. I'm looking forward to the possibility that maybe Vettel is going to do that hard to soft, which will just, completely differ what we're doing and, again, open up some opportunity. Let's hope that that is the case. Big thing here also, I'm on the inside going into turn 1 next to Vettel. I'm going to be trying to get everything I can going into turn 1 here. I want him to be behind as many cars as possible. All right, here we go. Hamilton a little asleep there, but gets a great launch. Not much in the way of room for me. A lot of different strategies here. We got a bunch of cars on hard, like Gasly here. Just trying to outbrake him down here. We should be able to with these far better tires. Yep, that was easily said and done. See, my battery energy is very low, just like in real life. So I'm not going to have that at my disposal. I think I was there, but that's okay. I did kind of dive bombing in there. All right, Leclerc being very elbows up here. It's fine. No harm, no foul yet. Oh, that was dicey. I think it was worthwhile though. I think that was very worthwhile. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change batteries. Yeah, that's why it's so low. I was using a lot of used components in qualifying, and I think I forgot to change them for the race. Whoops.
Okay, we're hitting the rated limits on the MGU-H. The power unit is going to be more prone to overheating.
Yeah, whatever. Surprised I'm not really running down Hülkenberg any more than I am right now, considering our tire differential, but it is so hard to get passes done here that I might just have to be a little bit more patient. Absolutely zero awareness there. Zero awareness.
Green flag.
Charles Leclerc out of the session. Not the driver we needed to be out of the session. we had somebody in mind that we were not rooting for, but you know what I mean.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
That was messy. I need to try and get this move done. I'm wasting time stuck behind a car on hards. See, Hamilton also on softs is like, hey, I gotta go here, dude. But Hulkenberg just kept blocking and bumping me out of the way. Not much I could do. It's frustrating. Again, just zero awareness. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's Leclerc. He can't even pass here. Alright, full power here. In the draft. We'll be on DRS. Should be easy. Let him by there. It should be all right now.
Is getting warm, reducing our overall capacity.
No. How can you do that on hards? How? How is that possible? It's not. I won't believe it. I ran laps on those hards earlier, and they're seconds a lap slower. I mean, the game was just not going to let me by there. It was just not having it. See if we get around and instantly set a purple sector. Hopefully he gives Hamilton as much of a hard time as he gave me. I feel like I used a lot of car up there. I used fuel up, energy, mental energy, and tire. But that's kind of Interlagos. That's just kind of how it is. Gosh, I hate that gap between fourth and third. Missed a turn. Missed a turn. Missed a turn real bad. Still missing the turn. Here's Hamilton. That's a mistake I can't afford. I can't afford any mistakes. And that was a big, stupid one. We didn't lose that spot. That's a second and a half that I've lost overall in this race. That adds up. I'll remember that when I'm a second and a half behind Vettel at some point. Got quite a few cars in front of us that are also on this soft strategy that I need to try and catch up to. That's wide. I believe they didn't warn me about that. That is outrageously offline. Whatever. I won't complain about not being penalized. Absolutely killing it on pace when I have a clean lap. run them down now. Surprised that wasn't fast lap. There's a lot of cars on softs though. And we did have a little bit of a scuffle. First sector, I think. Standard. A little bit of a battle up ahead of us is good. Nothing else, I'm glad this race is at least not just the Vettel versus Cone 1-2 normalness. I'm glad that it got real shaken up and weird. Weird is fun. A lot of short shifting, trying to keep that wheel spin down to a minimum. Still killing it in that second sector, middle sector. There we go. Now I assume Vettel's going to have that because he's doing that late race soft stint. That's okay. Getting around these two here. Wrong way with that change. I'm going to throw it in lean, try and save a little fuel in this middle sector. How much they slowed me up in that second sector. So now, I'm going to try and use this Ferrari power. We'll at least get around one of these guys, but I don't know what's about to happen here. I don't want to go 3 wide. Didn't work out for us at all. Unfortunately. The aero wash really killing me here.
A new strategy is available on the MFT.
This couldn't be a worse place. They just want me to go a little longer.
Okay, copy that.
I'll make that call. I'm ahead of Vettel, so it doesn't matter. I can pick whatever I want at this point. I don't quite understand why they want us to go longer unless they're just not seeing much tire wear. Which is surprising considering the pace and the battles.
Okay, we have an issue with the control electronics box. That's going to do additional damage to all other power unit components.
Don't have time to worry about that right now. Ferrari's definitely more of an even car at this track. I don't think we have the huge advantage here that we had at some of the other tracks. Mr. Stroll here being a pain right in the butt, I will say. Absolutely blocking. A car that is absolutely faster. too much pressure of being in their aero wash for that long. I'll probably catch right back up to them, honestly, because I feel like I'm being held up. Okay, tires are pissed. I feel like I'm being held up a second a lap by them, easily. I don't know what else to do. I'm just being so boxed in. I'm almost happy to be out of their aero wash for a minute. It's downright relaxing now. Kind of hoping that they would break apart. If they were singled out on track, I could get around either one of them. But because they're running together and passing each other in places that's blocking up the track, there's just nothing I can do. I almost just have to wait for pit strategy to change things around or something. I was originally pitting on lap 16? I don't remember anymore. Would have been important to remember. I could change back if I wanted to. Alright, I got tons of fuel now. Being stuck behind these two definitely closed the gap between me and Vettel this run, which is not ideal in any way, shape, or form. With him pitting as late as he will be. They're starting to separate out a little bit now, though. That might help me. If I can get Stroll as he's singled out. He's drawn back in again. This is a very frustrating track when it comes to passing. Amazing to drive. Kind of terrible to race at. Back in the aero wash, but now I'm a little bit cooled off personally. Maybe cooler heads will prevail. Thought I might be able to get the both of them there, but I only got one. That was still important though, I think. Yeah, this will be a heck of a run here. He tried to block every direction.
To run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
I like that by the time he was done saying that, I had already done what he asked. Now we gotta try and run away. By the way, Albon running away with this thing. If you hadn't noticed, has a 7-second gap lead, which is insane. Need to try and chop some of that out. It actually does make sense to have this run extended to 18, or whatever it was. To try and do some of that before pit stops. Because there's no way I'm not faster right now. Now that I'm in clear traffic, we're just gonna open up that gap. And open it up on Vettel too, who's still passing cars. I really don't know that I see the advantage of that hard tire strategy.
Alright, we're seeing a loss of power from the turbocharger now. Loss of power on the turbo.
Hopefully none of that stuff really comes back to bite me. And we don't have a failure. Luckily, if there's any track that I think we're okay at having a loss of power, this is likely one of them, because I think where our car is best is actually in the slow sections here. I'm just gonna have really, really good new parts for Abu Dhabi. Fantastic middle split there. Get out of the grass, you fool. You absolute fool.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
And I don't think those mediums are really going to be that bad versus Vettel on Sauce at the very end. Now, Vettel is technically in P2 right now. But he is on just a dramatically different strategy than everybody else. We are technically in P1, but we're on an even different strategy. I think, I can't say for sure, but I think we're still faster than the cars on hards at this point. Which is huge. That's nullifying the advantage of those cars going on hards. We got 7 seconds to Vettel right now. But we really need him to not be second. We need somebody else to finish second for this to work out. We'll see if that happens. I don't even know that I'll be first at this point. It might be Albon. I guess it wasn't 18. Maybe it was 20? I don't remember. Tires are still really good. I have 0 complaints on these tires. That is still very good grip through that sector. As noted. No, I was hoping maybe we get a little bit
coming
faster.
in this lap.
In this lap, I'm going to save the fuel and a little bit of energy for that out lap. Try to just take it a little easy on these tires on the way in. 7.1 to Vettel, pretty much holding strong. We'll see if we end up doing any faster laps on the mediums, but I doubt it. Car is just so good in the slow section on the soft. I am going to absolutely
Pit now.
drive
Pit
it
now.
into the pits too. Did you see it slide around? That was great. So obviously Vettel will pass us. Question is,
Release.
how many cars are ahead of us? Where is Albon? I think Albon is the main question point. There he is. So we're
Okay,
very,
stay
very
clear
close
of the white line on the
to
exit. We'll
Albon
receive
on
a penalty
hards,
for
by the
dangerous
way.
driving if you cross over into
Soft
the
to
track.
hards for Albon. We should be able to demolish him, and we definitely made up a ton of gap on him too. Easy on these tires for a few turns. Just 16 laps to go. That is not a long time. And then all of these cars on hards have got to pit again. I think Albon's P2. Albon might be the factor. Well, I say P2, but I'm assuming I can get around him. But yeah, Albon could be a huge factor in this points battle. Press. Not close enough to pass. I'm going to save energy. We want to get this pass done quickly, but also safely. There won't be a huge difference in our tires, but there is. Definitely through here I'll notice it. You know how badly I wanted to try and take it there, but it would have ended badly. Much you could do there, especially with the tire difference. Try and use a bit of energy here to pull away, if possible. Boy, I've been having some nausea-related issues this week. This track, not the best combo for that, I gotta tell you. Abu Dhabi would have been better.
Sebastian's
All right, here we go.
his stop.
We'll start to see what strategies unfold here. Does he go to mediums? No, he must go to softs. He does. But the gap is going to be many, many seconds between him and Albon. But he could potentially get there on those softs, I bet. Just knowing what the softs were like for me. I think Yeah, he's pretty close. He's a lot closer than I thought he was going to be. I do think the dream of the Albon split may not happen. He's going to have to, get to him, and it's going to take some laps for that to happen. Mediums are really coming online for me now. They're not. Wow. Going for the long haul, Sainz. Going for the deep turn 1, too. Holy cow. I can't believe he pulled that off. Really? I don't think that was worthwhile, my friend. I don't think that was worthwhile at all. They're very blocky at this track. Spin there. I realized he was in the lead, and that gives him a reason to defend. But there was such a huge tire differential that I just don't know if it was logical to try. I'm curious if he's pitting here. He's not. You don't think he's done with his strategy, do you? You don't think he's already stopped? No, there's Vettel taking fast lap as we expected. He's going to be taking a second a lap out of us for a minute. That'll even out, though. Especially as I have clear track in front of me. I think I can probably get back down to the 10s. I got to save some energy to do it, though. I'd love to try and get fast lap. At one point, could make a difference somehow, somewhere. I don't know how, but anything could happen. And with Vettel getting it and me not, it's technically 2 points. He is in traffic now. Push it too hard this lap. I'm still trying to recoup some energy. I think next lap is the lap I'm going to try to go for one. I want to keep myself sharp, so I'm still pushing fairly hard. Just so I know what kind of grip I'll have. All right. Use a little fuel here just to get it down the straightaway. I have my doubts, but we'll see. Exit sector 1. Use it all. That was so nice through there. little bit of a slide there, but really not a huge deal. Lost the nose pretty bad there.
We pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
Try and get it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Use everything. Use everything it's got. No. Just not enough grip in these tires versus the softs. And he has more engine too. And he's done with his passes. So how quickly does he make up that gap is the question now. I did go back. No, yeah, good. No, yeah. It's too bad. It's too bad that one of them couldn't hold him off. That would have given us a whole new ray of hope. But I did everything I could. There is absolutely nothing more I could have done in that situation. Just needed a little bit of luck. And that goes to show you how fast this car is. The fact that we started 9-10 and within 25 laps we're 1-2. Definitely not as impressed with the car on the medium tires. Spending that long on softs was a good call, because it was so much better, even on used softs. I almost wish I had gone longer on them. Ooh, easy on that curb. Still 7 seconds, yeah, he's not really closing. I'm sure he used a lot of the good out of those softs. Well, he took half a second out there. I might want to save some energy and such, just in case he has a late race push. I don't think he quite has time to get there. I'm a bit worried because I think this car is going to be so good in Abu Dhabi versus the field. With those straightaways and high downforce turns, I just don't know that there's anyone that could compete in order to get between us. And we have to have a car between us if we want to have a chance. If there's nobody between us, there's no race for a championship. He closed a lot this lap, but I was also conserving energy this lap, so I'm not panicking just yet. He's certainly in high engine mode now, trying to close the gap. He's using everything.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
But I definitely will need to turn some perfect laps here to keep him at bay, because he is flying. And considering the mode we were in, that was a pretty darn good lap. 4.6. Yeah, he was turning some blistering laps there. And still is. 4 to go, though. He'd have to get here and get around us. I guess actually 5 to go. One slip by me and I'm in trouble. I've had a few slips in this race. Just trying to drive smooth, consistent lines. Not trying to set the world on fire. It's doing good enough on its own. 4.1. We slowed the catch. Sure, the power difference in our cars is helping him. That's a big factor. He's had 0 penalties for a very, very long time. So the only thing I can hope for is that in Abu Dhabi, he either starts the race with some penalties and we start fresh, or there's the odd chance he could have some kind of mechanical issue in the race since he's going to be on very used equipment, in theory.
Okay, the boots aren't looking too warm at this point. We should have plenty of life left in them. Let's make sure we keep managing them properly.
I like the pace in which he was closing through there. I'm turning basically the best laps that I can turn at this point.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
It's hard to believe his tires wouldn't have equalized ours by now, but it's possible. Our softs went a long time. At some point I said not a lot of time left in this race, but these last 10 laps have felt like an eternity. Sun poking through the clouds a little bit for the first time. Easy car. None of that now. Once we don't screw up this lap. He's still flying. He's still going very, 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 very fast. I can't believe he has that much energy left in the car. That many successive fast laps. Very much so focused on these laps. That was an important set of turns there, and I nailed it. Very good through there, too. Fuel's gonna be close. Alright, he didn't get to DRS in time. despite turning fast lap after fast lap. He has got to be out of energy. We're pretty good in the middle sector, so I feel good about that.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
We talk about how awful that call is where he says the tank is empty. And how very not helpful that is. Boy, did he get close. All he needed was one more lap and we were done. He was one lap away from winning this race. Whew. All right. We're still alive in the championship.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
We're still alive. We don't have the best of chances, but we still have a chance.
So, another excellent
Man,
win from Ferrari.
if only.
Here come our winners now.
If only
A
somebody
thrilling
could have
race
gotten up
a
there and
tremendous effort by Ferrari.
challenged him.
Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings.
Hulkenberg,
Well, the
how
gap
did you
at the
get to
top of the
third?
championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our
Holy.
championship leader. Now let's discuss,
He had us
Hans,
by
who would you say is a
0.8 of a
contender
second.
for driver of the day?
That's got to be the flying Finn. Wait, how many flying Finns have we had now? Anyway, I'm talking about Bottas this time.
Oh, okay,
Just
that's
great
cool.
raw
10th to
speed
first isn't
and a good
impressive,
job
I
in
get it.
traffic as well.
So then, Ferrari have
16.
now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One.
That's a big
Be
number.
sure to join us for the next one.
It's a big number. We're gonna need a little bit of luck in Abu Dhabi. But anything could still happen. This was pretty wild. Like, this one ended up being not exactly straightforward. Vettel had to work for it. We had to work for it. That could easily happen in Abu Dhabi. Won't likely be rain there, but like I said, parts failures, penalties, who knows? The aggressive first stint here for me was critical. Again, there was nothing else I could have done. I won the race. I didn't get fast lap, but there really wasn't an opportunity to do that for me in this one. I think it was either win without fast lap or lose with fast lap. Very heated battles. If anything, the thing that I did the most was ended up not wrecking the car when there was a lot of opportunity there to wreck the car. Got stuck behind a lot of traffic that was very blocky. Very, very blocky. I don't remember that attempted move. It was one of the most interesting Interlagos I think we've had. It's pretty good. Man, I missed a lot of my passes there. It's sad. I got a lot of really, really good moves. And it's like, nah, didn't see it. Didn't see it, didn't happen. If only. I would love to see some of the highlights of Vettel in the race. What went on with him. It seemed like he had a tough time with traffic. When I saw Leclerc dropping through the field, I was so hopeful. Yep. Ooh, I almost pushed him completely off the track there. I was just so baffled that he was able to get back beside me. I always forget that they have their magical power boost whenever you pass them. But at the end of the day, we did all we could. We did what we needed to do. We'll head to Abu Dhabi and see what we can do in what will likely be a series and season finale. And I don't know. It seems like we would have to be I think he'd have to finish 4th or lower, and we'd have to win and get fast laps, something like that, in order to possibly win. I'll try my best. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.